Okay, I've heard stag parties, but a hen party, I haven't heard that term before. Is that like a bunch of ladies going out partying?
So a hen is basically when the bride goes out with her friends.
Oh, okay. Here we call it bachelorette party.
Yeah, well, it's not bachelorette, is it? She's a hen. You know,
She's a hen.
because here you have stag parties and hen parties, don't you, in Europe?
Okay, so that's kind of cool. It's probably better that the hotel ain't there anyway, because then you're just going to go up to your room. Now you get to go see the city, see the hens. Welcome to All In with Colin. I am your host, Colin Capone. Thank you for being here. Sorry for the delay between episodes. Had a few things come up in the real world, and right after looking after those, my wife and I had a week booked off for a road trip in BC with the kids. We spent a week in a town called Invermere, British Columbia, and I got to tell you, it's a great spot. We've never been there before. It's kind of in this valley with mountains surrounding it and a beautiful massive lake, a nice beach, very close. It's kind of in the middle between a couple of hot springs. So we definitely enjoyed the week touring around. It was pretty awesome. All right, enough of that. Let's get to the poker. I got a great episode for you today. This year, the World Series of Poker had a promo if they beat the attendance record for the main event, which was 8,773 entries in 2006. They would randomly choose a player who played the main event this year, and the winner would get a main event seat for the next 30 years. Well, they crushed it. They got over 10,000 entries. And I speak with the winner, fellow Canadian Jason Clarke. So that will be coming up shortly. I'm also going to check in with Chris Balestrieri. He was one of the ClubGG winners who I had on the last episode to talk about his main event experience. I really enjoyed connecting with so many of the ClubGG satellite winners. Most of them made day 2 of the main event. A couple went on to day 3. And Nick Pinguello, he lasted the longest in cash for 15,000. So shout out to Nick. Great run. And if you remember, he was the one who stared at himself in the mirror after winning the satellite on ClubGG and he couldn't believe it. Well, he's a believer now, and I'm sure his wife is as well. And we're all very happy he made the money. Our group chat was railing him. It was very cool to see everyone supporting him on his run. I'm also going to check in with Asif, the poker tourist, find out where he is now, what he's up to, what kind of trouble Asif's getting into. I'll also give you my tournament of the week. That's a high-value tournament I think we should all be playing. But first, I'm going to kick off the show with some shout-outs to people who've had some recent success. Shout out to J.H. Ballin. He got in the Global Millions final day from a $5 satellite, finished in 66th place for $1,378, which was his biggest online score ever. Shout out to @LowStakesDre. His friend convinced him to play a $100 online tournament on Sunday. Well, he ended up taking second place for $10,000. That's what friends are for. Shout out to Lewis Poker. He satellited into a 600-pound live tournament, cash for $1,275, which was his first Hendon Mob score. First of many, no doubt. Well done. And finally, shout out to @CornyPokes. He won an online free roll for $15, ran that up to $50 and then to $500, cashed it out to grind some live poker. And now his bankroll sits at over $5,000. Well done, everyone. If you want a shout out, hit me up on X @PokerCapone or email the details to allinwithcolin, 2 L's in Colin, @hotmail.com. All right, my next guest is a real estate agent from Brampton, Ontario, who played in his first WSOP main event this summer. And now he's going to be playing in the next 30 main events for free after winning the WSOP main event for Life Draw. I'm very excited to welcome Jason Clarke to the show. Jason, welcome to All In with Colin. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks, man. First off, before we get to the WSOP, how's the real estate market in Ontario going?
The real estate market has been heating up over the last couple months. Everything's been going good. Interest rates have went up a little bit, causing prices to go down a little bit, but we expect that to change and it to start going back up again.
Right before the interest rates went up, I had just renewed for 5 years for like 2% or whatever. So got lucky there. So I ran good there, but I didn't run good like you. So the story, so the WSOP, if they had a contest, if they broke the record of entrants, they were going to give away somebody 30 free main events. And they did it. They crushed the entry. So they did the draw. And you played, and it was your first main event?
That is correct.
Okay, and I saw a story saying that you had got your entry, like you cashed or chopped a daily deep stack? Is that how you got your entry?
Yeah, so the day before 1D of the main event, which was the last entry day, I played. It was a 250 buy-in. There was just under 1,000 players. I chopped two-way for about 19,500. The tournament went till about 4 a.m. I bought my tickets right away. Didn't get to sleep till 6 a.m. and ended up playing the main event off about 5 hours sleep. Was actually super tired the whole day one, and day two was a little better, but I ended up busting on day two. But yeah, basically I didn't cash in the main. I came back to Toronto. I was back for about a day or two, and then I got the call from Jack, and I was flown back out there and awarded the main event seats for 30 years, helped open the final table. And yeah, it was a great trip.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay, so basically it's like you won a satellite almost, right? So $250 buy-in, you grinded that, 1,000 players, chopped that, 19K, that's awesome. So then you got into the main. So how was it? Like, I know you were tired and stuff, but did it feel like a different tournament? Like, was it exciting for you? Like, how was that moment of playing your first hand of the main event?
It was super exciting. Super exciting.
I can imagine. So how long have you been playing poker?
I would guess around 17 years or so, maybe 18. I'm not sure exactly, but somewhere in that time frame.
Okay, so were you like a product of like the moneymaker era?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, cool. So you get to play your first main, but then you're tired, exhausted, kind of didn't go your way. So then you go all the way back home. Now you're back in Canada, and then you get this phone call. And did you think, like, I mean, sometimes I don't even answer numbers when I don't know, and they're calling from international. Like, did you think it was a scam?
Actually, so I didn't answer the number, not knowing who it was. I was actually in the middle of some work, and I ended up receiving a text message about 30 seconds after the phone call, and it said, Jack Eiffel, give me a call. I gave him a call. At first, he didn't want to tell me the news. He asked if I was still in Vegas. I told him no. He suggested I fly back. Basically, I asked why. He said I would rather tell you in person. And I said, well, I'm not going to fly all the way back to Vegas for the unknown. And so he told me. I was super thankful, excited, and I was on the plane a couple days later.
That's amazing. So you're like, well, I'm not coming back. Like, you're trying to think, did I get out of line or something?
I had a whole bunch of stuff going through my head. I was like, I have no clue what this is about. So
yeah, no kidding. Well, okay, well, that's awesome. So who's the first person? So you got this call, you found out you're playing the main event for the next 30 years. Who was the first person? Were you with anyone?
I was actually with my girlfriend at the time.
Awesome.
Yeah, she was heard the speakerphone, and she was super excited, just like I was. And she's like, "You're going back?" I'm like, "Yes, I am."
That's amazing. Okay,
yeah.
So you have a girlfriend? Do you have kids or anything, or just you and your girlfriend?
No kids.
Perfect. Then, so this is kind of easy. You're a real estate agent. You make your own schedule. So like some people, this might be very difficult to get the time, every year in the summer to go play the main. But for you, is this going to be feasible? Is this going to be easy for you?
Yeah, it'll be easy for me. I go every summer. I've been every summer for probably 15 years, excluding the COVID year where they didn't have the tournaments, but every other year I've been down there.
Okay. So you've been going, you never played the main. So were you playing a lot of the daily deep stacks or the smaller buy-ins?
No, I was playing a lot of the 1,000s, 1,500s, 600, 800s. The daily deep stacks is actually a tournament I don't usually play. I actually played it 3 times this year. The first time I did a 6-way chop. There was 305 players. The 6-way chop netted me 6,300. The second time I played was the chop, the 19.5. And then the third time I played, actually the day before I left, after going back the second time, I ended up finishing 5th. So maybe I should play the tournament more often. I did well in it. So
yeah, I think you should be going for the daily steep that grind. It sounds like it for sure.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay. So when you got to play the main, did you get to play with anybody notable or anything cool at your tables?
Yep. Actually, on day two, John Sen, I believe I'm pronouncing his name right. He was just to my left. He won the main event, I believe, in 2018. So he was on my table. Other than that, some lesser name pros. But yeah, he's definitely the most notable.
Cool. So was there one hand that you can remember where you would like to go back and maybe change it or change the outcome or anything? Or is there one hand?
I would say no. I thought I played pretty well. I actually did not get many cards in the whole first couple days. It was actually a very frustrating main event for me. My bust hand, I mean, I guess I could have folded, but it was my best hand in the couple days. And basically what happened, I had about 40,000 in chips from the starting 60. So I've just been losing a little bit here and there. And I had ace king of hearts under the gun. Blinds were 612. I made it 2,600. A short stack for about 22,000, jammed all in. And another guy thought about it for a while and he re-jammed all in. And I just decided to gamble. I knew I would, need to hit. I didn't think any of them had aces, kings, or queens or anything like that. So I said it was a good spot to gamble. I was actually versus pocket tens and pocket jacks. An ace came in the window. Perfect. And a jack fell on the turn. So, it felt good on the flop. Could have got up to about 110K or so, but that ended up busting me when the jack came. So
yeah, that hurts. Okay, so you lost the flip there, but now you're gonna have 30 more tries. Like that's hard to fathom when you think about that, right? Like 30 years are gonna be going to do this. Like you look like you're about you're what, late 30s, or how old are you?
I'm 42 years old.
42 years old. Perfect. Yes. Some people, I remember when they heard this giveaway, they were making jokes saying, "Oh, they think they're gonna give it to Gene Caldwell, the 100-year-old guy, or something." But no, like you're legit. Like you should be able to do this. You should be able to play 30 years, right?
I hope so. That's the plan.
Yeah. So I asked for if anybody on Twitter had any questions. Said you were coming on. Eric, he wanted to know, besides something like crazy, like an illness or death or anything, is there anything else, or like some kind of other event or anything that could come up where you think, oh, maybe I'll skip this year? Is there anything off the top of your head? Or
no, definitely not. I'll be at the World Series every year.
Awesome. Okay. Couple more questions. Chris Robinson wanted to know, does the package come with anything, or is it just the entry? Like, you got to get yourself to Vegas? I mean,
I'm under, to be honest, I'm not sure. So when I went back down to receive, they did pay for my hotel. And they also put me in the 1,500 closer. That was to pay for my airfare. So going forward, I am not sure what the plan is. But regardless, I mean, just the main event seats alone is, I'm more than grateful for. So
yeah, it's amazing. So also, do you consider selling any part of these mains? Did you sell any, or?
I've had a few people offer to buy some action. I haven't decided what I want to do yet. I'll probably sell a little bit of action just to give some friends a sweat, but in most tournaments, I don't like to sell my action.
Okay. So when you were in the main event, had you sold any action?
I sold 5%.
So did that cause any kind of were those people thinking, hey, I should have a percent of this 30 seats, or does that kind of get awkward, or?
It was actually a weird situation. So it was a friend that got it. I called him and told him, and he doesn't believe that he's owed anything. I told him I will give him something, but I don't know what the correct play is here. So we actually did a Twitter poll, what the players think should be done in a situation like this. And I believe it was about 75% said, I don't owe him nothing. 16% said I did, and the rest were just uncertain and stuff. Talking to a lot of friends and people at the tables, they said there's no way, that he would deserve 5% for the next 30 years. I've never been involved in a situation. I don't think anybody has with this kind of thing. So I'm not sure what the correct thing to do is. But because he's a friend, I am going to give him some action. We haven't actually met up yet to discuss what we should do. He's appreciative. He actually doesn't think he would be owed the 5% for 30 years. But I mean, what do you guys think on this? This is a tough spot.
I agree. It is a tough spot. I actually did my own Twitter poll too. And you know what? The results were about the same. Like, I think it was like 70 and then, some were unsure. But 70 for saying no, they didn't. And one guy made a good point. He said, I think it was Glenn Craig. And he said, because somebody said, well, and if it was a mystery bounty and say you pulled a mystery million, they get a piece, right? But
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
But someone else made the comment, and I think this is valid. None of this came out of the prize pool.
Yeah.
So your friend who bought the 5%, he bought for that tournament. None of this 30 years is coming from the prize pool. So I don't think I personally don't think you're owing any, but I think it's right. If you're going to give him a sweat or give him something, perfect. But I think it's good on him too to not make it awkward or anything. It is a weird thing, but I don't think anybody expects it.
Yeah, it's a very weird thing, and I don't think there's I guess any poker player in the world has ever been in this situation. I mean, this is the first time this has happened. So it's definitely a sticky spot. But I do think technically, by the rules, I don't think he would be owed. But I am going to work something out with him where we're both going to be okay with the situation. At the end of the day, it's only 5%. I'm okay. You know what I mean? I'd be happy to help a friend out. So
no, that's very good on you. And I think it's good learning, for other people as they go forward and they buy into tournaments. Just say, hey, this is your action for this tournament. If there's any kind of giveaway, or like say you went on a run and you didn't win this, but you like won the main event and you got like a sponsorship or something. Remax is sponsoring you or whoever. They're not entitled to any of that. But it's good to clarify all that at the beginning, right? Like, but you who would have thought?
Yes. I actually didn't know about this draw entering the main event. I was told during it, and after the fact, I didn't even think about it. I was not even sitting by my phone or hoping my phone rang. I just figured, what are the chances, and kind of never even thought about it.
Exactly. It's such a it's like a lotto almost, right? It's something you think you're going to actually win until it happened, right? So
yeah,
that's incredible. It reminds me now when you say that. So a few years ago, or a bunch of years ago, there was a radio station contest in Edmonton where I live. Yeah. And, it was a sports station that I listened to. And I got my name thrown in the hat, right? And the deal was they're going to call somebody on a certain day, but if you answered your phone, then you just win. You win a trip to like Mexico. I totally forgot about it. And then they're like a real early show. And I was like still sleeping. I was just getting up, I think I hit snooze already. And then I'm like, didn't think anything. And then I hear my phone ring. I'm like, who's phoning me so early, right? It's like 10 to 7 or something. And then I'm like, it's like ring. And then it was about to go to voicemail, and I looked at it, and it showed like TSN 1260 or something. And then it all and I quickly hit answer, and I won. And they even said, they're like, we were waiting for the voicemail. We're going to move on to the next guy. So like, I never thought of it either, right? So it was crazy. So nothing like what you won, but you don't. Yeah, it was great. We went to Mexico, and then I have kids, so then I paid for them, and we brought them. So it was cool.
Nice.
So yeah, I hope you really turn this 30 years into something. I mean, it's like 30 shots. I mean, it's too bad it's so spread out, but at least you know what you're doing for 30 years, right?
That's true.
Yeah, that's awesome. There was another question. Did they tax you on it? I don't know how they would have done that, but
no, I mean, technically I didn't win any money, right? I just won a seat for 30 years. So I assume it's going to work the same it does every year for Canadians, is I would be taxed 30% of my winnings. So as of now, no tax. Hopefully I will be taxed a lot in the future. And as a Canadian, we do get taxed 30%, but we get most of that back anyways later on. So it's not too bad.
Are you going to, like, I don't know what you do for a coach or anything. Is there something where you think I'm going to start, you have a year now, you're playing it, right? Is this something, are you going to do more coaching, more playing, or how are you going to approach that?
So I have never done coaching before, but I actually did see on one of the posts the WSOP did about me, Chance Corneth actually reached out and said that he would like to help coach me at Chip Leader Coaching for free. He said to send him a message, so I did. He responded, and basically he said he will message me within a week. This was a couple days ago or so, and yeah, I look forward to that. I mean, it'd be great to get coached by him, who's arguably one of the best players in the world, and we'll see how that goes.
For sure, and I think you guys had the same bust out hand, isn't it? Didn't you say?
Yeah, we did actually. Ace King of Hearts, he busted with the same too. Yep,
that's same hand too. Yeah, and you're right. He is a crusher, and he crushed it this year. So if you're gonna get coaching from Chance, wow! Next year I'll be looking for you on the main event updates for sure. That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, Jason, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, and I want to give a quick shout out to Buddy as well. So he runs the global community group, and
yes, shout out to Buddy.
I seen some cool videos that he took, like of kind of your guys' journey back to Vegas, like, and then before, and then when you're getting the big, they give you like one of those huge, like it looks like almost like one of those checks when they used to give away those or whatever.
Yes,
very cool. So he was kind of your media guy there.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so awesome. So yeah, thanks for him for putting us in contact with each other. And hopefully I'll run into you.
Definitely.
Appreciate it. And yeah, like I said, I'll stay in touch, and hopefully you have some deep runs in the next 30 years.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, on the last couple of episodes, I spoke with numerous ClubGG WSOP main event seat winners, and I'd like to welcome back one of them to the show. I'm joined by Chris Balestrieri. Chris, welcome back to All In with Colin. How are you?
Doing great, Colin. How you doing?
Pretty good. So it's been a couple weeks since you got to live out the dream and go play your first World Series of Poker main event. So how was it? How did it go?
Oh man, what an incredible trip and an incredible experience overall. Unfortunately I didn't cash. That was kind of, winning the tournament was the ultimate goal, but cashing was definitely an upper tier goal, let's call it, for myself. But I ended up getting eliminated in the last hour of day 2. I consider it a huge accomplishment to make it that far. Really making it out of day 1 was the small goal that I wanted to do, and even that looked a little iffy at some times. So overall, great experience. It was definitely a win in my book, and just incredibly humble to have been put in that situation to go to the main event.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think of the 7 of you that we had talked to in the last couple of episodes, I think so 6 of you made day 2, which was amazing. That blew my mind. And then I think we were down to 2 for day 3. So that day 2 to day 3 was a lot of eliminations. And then one of you, Nick Pinguello, so he cashed. So that was nice. So that was kind of cool. Everyone was kind of railing in the group chat. So that was cool to see. But so you had said previously that your boys were going to all fly in and you guys were going to try to do some dinners and whatnot. So how did that go with them on the rail?
Oh, no, it was great to see them. I ended up having five buddies with me. So if you don't mind, I'm going to give them a quick shout out here. I had Ryan come in from Singapore. So he came from halfway around the world. From the Bay Area here, I had my buddies Mike and Eric. And from San Diego, another guy, DJ. And then up in Oregon, another guy, Andy. So it was good to have those guys with me, cheering me along. They definitely had a fun Vegas trip themselves, but they were there incredibly at like the most important times. At the end of day 1, at the beginning of the tournament, they were there when I got eliminated too. So it was great to have that support. And then back home too, my wife was super supportive. She didn't make the trip. And I had a lot of friends and family members reaching out to me. My parents had a little group text with me that was just a couple of us on it, but they had other chains that they were giving people updates and stuff. So I felt a lot of love and a lot of people rooting for me while I was there.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's incredible. So it sounds like you had great support. And sounds like the boys had a good time. So they were railing you, but then also hopefully got a bit out of line. So had some fun in Vegas.
Yeah. We had some good times on that day off too. They no partying and drinking for me, but we had a good time hanging out. Played some darts and went to Carbone. Had a great meal that day off. So we had a good time.
Oh, that's awesome. You had mentioned that the night before you were going to try to like walk the floor and kind of take it all in. Did you get a chance to do any of that? Or?
Yeah, I got a little emotional doing it. I was the only one in there. I don't think I was supposed to be in there. When I got the chance to do it, it was pretty late at night. I got to take some pictures, found my table. It was awesome. I ended up being at 3 different tables over the course of the 2 days, and all of them were right on the rail. So had a great spot to be close to people watching me and stuff like that. But man, I'll tell you that first level, the first 2 hours was absolutely wild for me. There was a lot of aggression at my table that first day. And I knew I'd face a little bit of it, but I during that first break, I had a call with my parents, and I was just venting. It was like a therapy session for myself, and I just couldn't believe how much aggression so early in the tournament I was facing at my table. But those little 5-10 minute calls I had with people really kind of leveled me out and kept me going and kept me in the tournament.
Wow. So you had a lot of 3-betting and 4-betting going on early on?
It was incredible how the pots, were just escalating at my table that first day. Only had 1 elimination or 2 eliminations at my table the first day. But I kind of went in with a little bit of a game plan to play tight, just get through that first day and then go from there. And then I think I ended up playing 5 of the first 10 hands. I ended up getting a few big pocket pairs, few big suited aces and things like that. And kind of found myself as a little bit of a shorter stack right away. So I was always kind of hovering around that 40,000 chip mark, starting at 60,000. But you know what? I battled and finally I kind of started pushing back at some people and the pressure kind of left me after that. So it was a good experience.
Yeah, that's good. And I think it's important from everyone that I've listened to has said, like, you got to start, like you start with the 60,000 in chips and you get down to 40, but instead of, you got to just convert it into the big blinds because you're still really deep, right? But yeah, that's crazy that the pots were escalating and getting so big so early on in the tournament, people trying to win it on day one, it sounds like. So you were thrown right into the fire.
Oh yeah, definitely. And to be honest with you, in the 10 hours of actually playing in day one, I never really got comfortable with my table. I managed to survive and stuff like that. But funny enough, my day 2 table, I was so much more comfortable with, and arguably it was probably a harder table. I had a few professionals there at the table with me. Damian Salas, the 2020 world's main event champion, was 2 seats to my left all day. And we actually had some great battles, some great pots. I felt like I kind of earned his respect on a couple hands. But ultimately, he was what crippled me. He didn't knock me out of the tournament, but I got into a big hand with him and lost about half my stack to him. And that kind of put me in a situation that later in the night, I kind of just had to make a push, and it just didn't go my way. So.
Yeah, and then when you got to make those pushes, you got to win a flip late or something, get back your double up, right?
Yeah, I think I had about 10 big blinds left with the big blind antes. It was only 5 orbits that I could have blinded out, and there was a day off the next day. So I kind of said to my buddies, like, hey, I need to in this next hour double or triple up here to breathe some life back into myself, or just get the chips in and see if it's meant to be. And ended up going all in with a King Jack offsuit. I hadn't seen two big cards together in a long time. Got called with ace queen pre-flop, and ace high won. So just wasn't my time. But it was a situation I just felt good about, and I needed to do something at that point.
For sure. And yeah, don't feel bad about not cashing. I'm sure you're aware of this year's World Series main event champion winner. Yeah, he was 0 for 10 for his first 10 main events. And then I think I read he was like 2 for 16 for cashes. And now he won it all. So hopefully, it doesn't take you that long. But yeah, don't feel bad. Like top players get busted on. I've seen a lot of people busting on day one quite early, like that were just great players, but just it didn't go their way.
Yeah, and I could say that I made it further than Helmuth and Negreanu and stuff like that, because they busted a little earlier than I did. But overall, I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I honestly, I made a post on Facebook and Instagram, like I felt like I won the week, like just with all the support and love I felt and getting to experience it. But looking back, I definitely think if I do get a chance to play in the main event again, I would kind of approach it differently. I think I had a little too conservative of a mindset. And, if you are looking to cash or you are looking to win, like you just have to put yourself out there and take chances. And I probably didn't take as many chances as I could have and should have. But, given the circumstance, like I played the way I wanted to play.
Right on. So are you going to try again for next year, you think?
Hey, you know what? I'm hoping that GG has some entries to their Bahamas circuit that they just announced, and I'd love to be able to qualify for that. And if that doesn't work out, yeah, definitely I'll try for another entry to the main event next year.
Awesome. Yeah, when I saw that they announced the WSOP Bahamas, I'd sent ClubGG a DM and said, "Are you going to have satellites for this?" And they responded saying they weren't sure or they didn't have anything in the plans yet. So they hopefully, but see if they can pull it off, because that would sound like it would be a pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah, I know they're affiliated with GG Poker, and that's where most of the seats do come from. But I saw somewhere that GG Poker was going to have over 1,000 seats, available. So I guess I'm hoping that Club GG for us out here in California, where GG Poker isn't legal, that Club GG does offer some seats again. Yeah,
that would be cool. They also have those like the tournaments on there where you can win like tournament dollars, right? And I think you can use those to go into any kind of event. So maybe that would be an option.
Yeah, definitely.
But hopefully they have some packages as well. I'm with you. That would be sounds pretty good. It doesn't even really get as cold in the winter where you are, but it would still be pretty nice to get to the Bahamas, right, and play for a ring.
Oh, that Atlantis resort looks amazing, and I think it's bracelets that they're actually going to be playing for out there too. So anytime you have a chance to play for a bracelet is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, thanks a lot, Chris. Thanks for coming back on, and we really appreciate it. It was fun to rail all you guys. I know you didn't get the cash that you wanted, but sounds like you had a great experience, and your boys you got to reconnect, and they all had some fun with you as well. So really happy for you, and hopefully, you get a chance to go back and try for some redemption.
Yeah, and you know what? I really want to thank you too. You connected the 7 of us in that group chat, and we were rooting for each other. I got to meet a couple of the guys, which was nice. And on my day off, I railed one of them and was rooting them on. So I really appreciate it. You added to the experience, and thank you for the podcast and connecting all of us.
Awesome. I appreciate that. That was really happy to hear that. It's good that you guys all got to hang out and meet and stuff. So yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate everything you do.
All right. And now it's time for my tournament of the week. This is a high value tournament I think we should all be playing. Starting August 20th, the World Series of Poker online series is coming to GG Poker. Most of it's high buy-in, but event number 1, it's $108 buy-in. It's called a Bankroll Builder Bounty. Say that a few times in a row. Okay. It's still more expensive than my regular tournaments of the weeks, but I think this is incredible value because in addition to a huge payday, you're going to have a chance at winning an official World Series of Poker online bracelet. So a bracelet event for $108, insane. Tournament takes place August 20th, 2 p.m. Eastern. So fire some satellites, get in cheap, and good luck, and let me know if you go deep. All right, we're just going to check in with Asif, the poker tourist, who's in Bratislava at Card Casino, and I just heard made day 2 of the Grand Prix Party Poker $500 buy-in. So Asif, how's it going? No bad beat story today yet.
Well, no, I did lose with a few big hands, but I managed to keep my head above water. I've ended up with about 160k, which is about 4 times starting stack, and approximately, I think, about 30 big blinds for day 2.
Nice. Okay, so this is a $550 buy-in. So let's be real. How much are you?
Sorry, you can hear it. Yeah, obviously, we're in the casino.
You're still in the Cards Casino. Okay, so how much did you qualify online for this on Party Poker?
I qualified on Sunday for $22. 22 euros for a €1,500 package, which basically included 5 nights hotel, the buy-in to the competition, which is €550, which the comp has a 500,000 guarantee, and and some 250 for expenses. Now, obviously, when I qualified on Sunday, I checked the flights from Manchester to Bratislava, and they were like through the roof. So I thought to myself, I'm not paying that price. I'm not going to pay like 250 for a one-way flight. So I obviously had to come up with an ingenious way to come here. So I qualified on Sunday night. On Tuesday morning, I flew to Ibiza. I spent 36 hours in Ibiza, and then I flew from there to Vienna on Wednesday night. And from Vienna, I took a hour bus to Bratislava. So I arrived basically at midnight on Wednesday night. Had the day off yesterday, mooched around, and today I played flight 1D for this event. There's a flight 1E, and I think there's a turbo flight tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. And then this basically day 2 starts at 4 p.m. on Saturday here. Nice.
Okay, so you're in for $22. So for those people that don't know, where is Bratislava?
Well, Bratislava is the capital of. So when you used to have Czechoslovakia, so you have the Czech Republic, and that was split into the Czech Republic and Slovakia. And Slovakia and Bratislava is the capital of the Slovakian part. And it's actually about 80 kilometers, I think, from Vienna. It's right on the border.
Nice.
And much more interesting is that 200 kilometers from here is the Hungaroring Ring in next to Budapest, and that's where the Hungarian Grand Prix is going to be held on Sunday. So whether I bust or not, I've got option to go there. So that would be super cool.
So the poker tourist is always somewhere. So how much did you save by doing this that crazy planes, trains, and automobile route?
So it was like 250 to go one way to Bratislava. It would have got me here probably 10 p.m. on Wednesday night. I actually arrived about just after midnight on Wednesday night. My route cost me about it was like 58 to Ibiza. Then it was 42 to come from there to Vienna, and 15 on the bus from Vienna to Bratislava. Also, I hired a car for like 30 plus 30 for fuel, and I was in the sea swimming 3 times in that 36-hour period. So
that's awesome. I seen the videos of that Ibiza place is world famous, right? Like that's where all the rich, beautiful people go, right?
Well, it's where it's like party central, all the big DJs, you can name them. I'm not so familiar with them, but they've all, done their big sets here.
Tell the listeners, like, that casino looks pretty nice, actually. That poker room looks pretty sweet.
So this is my second visit in 4 months to the Card Casino in Bratislava. Now, this place itself is like, it, I'm pretty sure it has to be the best place to play tournament poker in Europe, really. I mean, there are some other places like the Liechtenstein place where I was a month ago. That was really nice as well, the Grand Casino in Liechtenstein. But this is more accessible in terms of getting here, you know? And it's definitely better than Rosvadov. I know people won't like me saying that, but it is. And it's like you've got so much room. We've been playing 8-handed all day long. And you can see, even though you described to your listeners that, look how much space there's between the tables, you know?
Yeah, it looks massive.
Beautiful carpets, air conditioned. The lighting over the table is so good. You know, you can see here how good the lighting is on the table, you know? So there's all these little factors. And then obviously you've got free soft drinks and coffee machines. And also for every entry on a daily basis, you get a free entry to the buffet, which for me, being only eating kosher food or whatever, halal food, it's not so great. But for everybody else, it's totally fine, you know?
So for all those European people who went and got broke in Vegas, spending money on drinks and food, they got to go there now and save some money, right? Sounds like.
Yeah, you won't be getting that happening here. But the thing is, as you know, and we've talked extensively about this, I know several people, and they're all great friends of mine. But, you know, people have gone and, you know, shall we say, not come back with a profit, you know? And Vegas is totally, what can I say?
Well, I know what you're saying. Vegas is Vegas.
Well, no, Vegas is rinsing people for every single penny they can get out of them in every single aspect of, you know, even just about living there, you know, on the daily basis, you know? Every single aspect, you know, with potato chips being $6, coffees being $9, you know, Red Bulls a bar like $12, $14. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's out of control. You know, so that makes you appreciate a place like where you're at right now, though, a bit more, right?
Well, not just because of that, because obviously you can go out here and you can go to the town center and get a wide range of food. Cheap as well. I think that, you know, Vegas is totally an illusion where people are just spending because they're going out there and they're probably losing money, shall we say, playing poker or various other gambling activities. It just forms, oh, well, it doesn't matter if I'm paying $60 for my lunch, you know, or $100 for my steak, you know. But in reality, it's just you're just getting ripped off, and I don't like to get ripped off. So, you know.
Yep. No, nobody likes to get ripped off, and yeah, no, I think you're doing it right. But that place does look really good. So what are your plans now then?
Well, it's like here it's 9 p.m. So I may go off. We are the only thing about this casino or card room is that it's about 4.5 miles from the center of Bratislava. So you have to take an Uber. You can occasionally get the public transport, but I don't think maybe at this time. So I can do that.
Sorry, is your hotel attached to the casino, or is it in the town center?
It's approximately about. It says it's 1 kilometer, but you can walk in about 15 minutes. And Bratislava itself is a place that's renowned for stag and hen parties because the beer is very cheap here. So you have a lot of hen parties and stag parties coming up the weekend, and we are on. Well, it is Friday night, so I'm sure center of Bratislava will be like Sodom and Gomorrah, you know?
Okay, I've heard stag parties, but a hen party, I haven't heard that term before. Is that like a bunch of ladies going out partying?
Sorry, what? Oh, hen party.
I haven't heard the term hen party before.
So a hen is basically when the bride goes out with her friends.
Oh, okay. Here we call it bachelorette party. So there you call it.
Yeah, well, hen. You know, it's not bachelorette, is it? You know, she's a hen. You know,
she's a hen.
Because here you have stag parties and hen parties, don't you, in Europe?
Okay, so that's kind of cool. It's probably better that the hotel ain't there anyway, because then you're just going to go up to your room. Now you get to go see the city, see the hens.
Well, as I said, I was here about 4 months ago, and I did a couple of the walking tours and stuff like that. And it is, it's like a typical European city. You have the old town, you have the castle, you have the fables, why this was this and this is that. And you get a little, nice idea of it. But it's very similar to most towns or cities in Europe, where you have an old town and then you have the new town built next to it, blah, blah, blah. And so on,
Yeah, no, it is awesome. Like, you're very spoiled because you get to see all that all the time. So it's nice that you still kind of appreciate it. Like a lot of people probably they don't.
Well, I will probably tomorrow, because our start is at 4:00, and rather than hang around the casino or whatever it is, I will definitely find a one of these walking tours, and you pay. They're usually free walking tours, and you pay the people at the end of the tour like $10, and they're €10, and they're totally happy with that.
Cool. So you get to go check out the town. Sorry, when was your day 2?
Day 2 starts basically 4 p.m. or 1600 hours European time tomorrow, Saturday. And then the day, what's his name, 3, if you make that, is Sunday. But,
All right. Okay. I don't want any bad beat stories. I want to see you go to the final table.
No, we've had a few of them today. Obviously, I was playing a bit too tight, I think, towards the end, A couple of times I would have flopped straight with ace-10, but to a raise, it's not such a great. And then near the end, I had a hand where I had pocket 8s in the big blind, and the guys made it like 5x stick, So it's one of those that I could shove on him, but really do I want to get involved? And then calling is a sort of a mistake in a weird way as well, because what are you going to do unless you don't flop an 8,
Mm-hmm. Hey, so what language do they speak at the tables there?
Yeah, no, some of them locals have been speaking. There's some Bulgarians here, but you get people from all over. These, the card casino in Bratislava now is basically like a hub. So you have the ones in Malta, you have Rosvadov, and then you've also got the Grand Casino in Liechtenstein. And basically, countries that can't have poker in their own countries, they bring the whole groups to come and play poker at these festivals that are held literally every weekend at these 4 units,
Cool.
And of the 4 that I've been to Liechtenstein, but yeah, this is the best of all 4.
Awesome. Okay, well, have a good time touring around, and I'll check in with you tomorrow and see how you're doing.
Hopefully, we can make the money tomorrow. If we don't make it, I've got a plan B, but I'll have to check the weather. As I said, you can drive, or if I can get to the Hungary ring, it's about 250 kilometers or miles away. The Hungarian Grand Prix is on Sunday.
Cool. Okay, so hopefully you're in day 3, but if not, the Poker Tourist is going to find a way to get to the Grand Prix. Pretty cool backup.
Well, as I said, I'll have to check the weather and stuff like that, obviously. But yeah, I think so. It would be a good option.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Thanks, Asif.
All right. Take care, man.
All right, there's that damn violin again. So that means that's a wrap for another episode of All In with Colin. I hope you enjoyed it. Before I go, I want to give you a quick update. Asif did make the money and the Grand Prix. So well done, Asif. He always finds a way. If you like this episode, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. And also, if you can help me out and give me a 5-star review, that will help others find the show. I'd really appreciate it. If this is your first time listening to the show, always stay tuned after the closing music. I always leave a little Easter egg there. Spoiler, next episode, I'll talk with Frankie Kukira from Next Gen Poker. We discuss a contest where he gave away a World Series of Poker main event entry in a giveaway. And we have the giveaway winner, Andy Morcillo, to talk about the experience. Hey, no getting any fights on the way back.
No. I've got to avoid fights. I've been very diplomatic on the table. I had a hand where I had Jack, and this guy raises, and so I 3-bet him from the blind, and everybody else folds. and he calls, and the flops come that king, queen, 9. Yeah. So I think, well, I'll lead out here because I've got the gut shot,
Yeah.
stuff like this. And then he fucking raises me, doesn't he? Like 11.5, and I was a bit mad at him. And then I tanked, and then I thought, you know what? Just let it go,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been doing that a lot today, rather than just going, with going ahead with the things and getting done. So it's better.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to fold. Sometimes they have it, right?
Well, either he has it or he's on the total bluff. Now, the problem here is that it's a very coordinated board, and he probably hasn't got ace king because he would have stuck it in earlier, but he could have king queen there quite easily. Do you know?
Yeah, or king in a straight draw, or like a pair in a straight draw.
No, but most of the time he would have like a hand like the ace king you would have heard from pre-flop.
Yeah.
More.
Or he could have
queen.
He could have queen 10 and like a mid pair and a draw.
Yeah,
find out where he's at.
So, anyway.
Okay, have a good one, man.
All right, take care, man.
Okay, buddy. Bye. Thanks.